What would you do if the greatest achievement of your life was stolen by a lie? Most of us would feel rage. We would feel like victims. But for one young man, being cheated out of his fortune was the most beautiful gift he could ever receive. Stay with me, because this story isn't about a scam. It's about the moment you realize that the world you see is dictated entirely by the heart you carry. The walls of his cramped dormitory were silent witnesses to the sacrifice of ambition. For months, he traded sleep for innovation, his world shrinking down to the flickering glow of a desk lamp and the scent of old paper. In the quiet of the night, while others dreamed, he was busy building his own. Then came the day of the Great Hall. The air was thick with the hum of nervous energy and the scent of 1,000 possibilities. Standing amidst a sea of the nation's brightest minds, he looked at his creation, a fragile vessel of his hopes, wondering if it would be enough to carry him to the shore of success. The final round was a relentless marathon of the spirit. For 3 days, time became a blur of equations, adjustments, and sheer willpower. His eyes were bloodshot, his hands weary, but the fire in his heart refused to dim even as the countdown timers ticked mercilessly toward the end. And then, silence, followed by a roar that shook the very foundation of the hall. Gold confetti rained down like falling stars, and the trophy in his hand felt heavier than he ever imagined. He held a check, a fortune to a student like him, the key to every door he had ever found locked. But the noise was too much. Seeking refuge from the blinding camera flashes and the suffocating tide of congratulations, he slipped through a side exit. He didn't want the fame. He wanted a moment to let the reality of his changed life sink in, away from the prying eyes of the world. The parking lot was a cathedral of shadows and cool night air. The distant echo of the celebration was just a faint hum. As he walked toward his weathered bicycle, the weight of the trophy in his bag felt like an anchor of peace, finally grounding him after the storm of the competition. Suddenly, a figure emerged from the dim light, a woman whose face was a map of sorrow. Her eyes were rimmed with red, trembling with a grief so profound it seemed to chill the air around her. She wasn't looking for a champion. She was looking for a miracle. In a voice choked with tears, she told a story that shattered his quiet joy. She spoke of a child in a sterile hospital room, a young life being stolen by a ruthless illness. She described the ticking clock of a surgery they couldn't afford and the agonizing helplessness of a mother watching her world fade away. He looked at the envelope in his hand, the fruit of his sweat, his tears, and his sleepless nights. In a heartbeat, the money transformed. It was no longer a reward for his past. It was a lifeline for someone else's future. The choice wasn't made in his mind, but in the depths of his soul. He pressed the envelope into her worn, shaking hands. "Take it all," he said, his voice steady and warm. "Don't let the clock run out. Go back to your child. Let this be the miracle you were praying for." In that exchange, a bridge of human kindness was built across the dark. With a cry of disbelief and gratitude that would haunt his memory forever, she turned and ran into the night. He stood there for a long time, watching her silhouette disappear, feeling lighter than he did even when he stood on the winner's podium. A few days later, the world was bright and indifferent. The university campus was bathed in the golden light of a new week. He walked the familiar paths, the secret of his sacrifice tucked away, content to be just another student in the crowd. A voice broke his solitude, a friend wearing the look of pity and hidden judgment. "I heard about the parking lot," the friend said, leaning in with the gravity of someone about to break a heart. "I need to tell you the truth before everyone else starts laughing at you." The words were cold and sharp. "That woman is a ghost, a professional liar who preys on the kind-hearted. She has no sick child. She has no hospital bills. She took your hard-earned dream and walked away laughing. You were a fool to believe her. The world seemed to hold its breath. He didn't flinch, nor did he let anger cloud his face. He stood in a long, contemplative silence, processing the revelation. Then he looked his friend in the eye and asked a single, piercing question. "Are you absolutely sure that there is no dying child?" "I'm certain," the friend replied, almost annoyed by his lack of outrage. "The police know her. The whole story was a fabrication. There is no sick boy. No one is dying. You threw your money away for a lie." And then a transformation occurred. A smile, slow and radiant, began to spread across his face. A look of pure, unadulterated relief. It wasn't the smile of a victim, but the smile of a man who had just received a priceless gift. His eyes sparkled with a joy that defied all logic. "Then that," he whispered, looking up at the endless blue sky, "is the best news I've heard all day. We should celebrate. For what does a bit of money matter when we've just learned that a child's life isn't in danger? No one has to die today. Because in the end, our happiness isn't dictated by what happens to us, but by the beauty we choose to see in the world. Life isn't defined by what happens to us, but by how we respond." This man didn't lose his prize. He traded it for the beautiful truth that no child was dying. Stop counting what was taken and start celebrating the good news hidden in the shadows. Your reaction is your only true freedom. Choose to see the light, and the world can never truly be dark again.